This is Savita Valsang and welcome to my channel Statistics Made Simple. In this video, I will find solutions to problems based on the fourth test under large sample test, that is test for equality of proportions. These problems are important from the examination point of view. Problem 1. Find the mean and standard error of the difference of proportions in a sample of 10 persons from town A and 20 persons from town B. Note that the proportion of voters in town A and town B is 0.6. So let us understand the problem first. There are two towns, that is town A and town B, and samples of size 10 and 20 respectively are chosen from town A and town B. Also, the proportion of voters in both the towns are given, that is the value of capital P1 and capital P2 are given, and both are equal, and in this case it is capital P which is equal to 0.6. So under solution, let us list down the values which are given. So given N1 is equal to 10, N2 is equal to 20, then capital P1 is equal to capital P2 is equal to capital P, which is equal to 0.6. Then calculate Q, which is 1 minus P, which is 1 minus zero point 0.6 is equal to 0.4. Starting with the first subdivision, we'll find out the mean of the difference of the sample proportions. So consider E of P1 minus P2, which is equal to capital P1 minus capital P2, which is equal to 0.6 minus zero point 0.6. So therefore E of P1 minus P2 is equal to 0. Second, consider standard error of the difference of the sample proportions, that is SE of P1 minus P2, which is equal to root of PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2, where Q is equal to 1 minus P. We use this formula for the standard error of P1 minus P2 because both the population proportions are equal. Substituting the values, you get root of 0.6 into 0.4 into 1 by 10 plus 1 by 20, which is equal to root of 0.24 into 0.1 plus 0.15, which is equal to root of 0.036. Therefore, standard error of P1 minus P2 is equal to 0.1897. 2. The proportion of PU students wearing spectacles is 0.48 and that of students in 10th standard is 0.10. Find the mean and standard error of the proportion of students wearing spectacles in PUC and 10th standard when a random sample of 500 and 520 students are chosen respectively. In the given problem, we understand that there are two populations that comprises of the PU students and the 10th standard students. Also, the word proportion is used in the problem. And in the first sentence, the proportion of PU students wearing spectacles and the proportion of 10th standard students wearing spectacles is given. So under solution, write given capital P1 is equal to 0.48. So Q1 is 1 minus P1, which is 1 minus 0.48, which is equal to 0.52. Similarly, capital P2 is 0.10. Therefore, Q2 is equal to 1 minus P2, which is 1 minus 0.10, which is equal to 0.9. Then the two sample sizes are given, that is N1 is equal to 10 and N2 is equal to 20. For the first subdivision, let's first find out the mean of the difference of the sample proportions. So consider expectation of P1 minus P2, which is equal to capital P1 minus capital P2, which is equal to 0.48 minus 0.10. Therefore, expectation of P1 minus P2 is equal to 0.38. Now here both the population proportions are not equal to each other. So we have to use a different formula for the standard error. So under the second subdivision, consider SE of P1 minus P2, which is equal to root of P1 Q1 by N1 plus P2 Q2 by N2, where Q1 is 1 minus P1 and Q2 is 1 minus P2. This formula I have explained in my previous video. So substituting all the values which are known, we get standard error of P1 minus P2 is equal to root of 0.48 into 0.52 divided by 500 plus 0.10 into 0.9 divided by 520, which is equal to root of 0.0005 plus 0.0002, which gives root of 0.0007. Therefore, standard error of P1 minus P2 is equal to 0.0265. The first and the second problem were 2 markers for each subdivision. Here, from the third problem onwards, we'll be solving 5 markers. Problem 3. A sample survey conducted on 900 persons showed that the proportion of persons using a certain paint gel was 3 by 4. After a year, a sample of 1000 persons showed that the proportion of persons using the same gel is 4 by 5. Is there a significant difference between the two proportions? Test at 1% level of significance. So here in this problem, the word proportions are already used and we have two populations because a survey was conducted during a particular year and again after a year another survey was conducted and samples were chosen from both these surveys in both the years. Now let us identify what values are given in the problem. Now usually once we identify that the test is test for equality of proportions, we have to find 4 values. The 4 values are N1, N2, then X1, X2, or we need N1, N2 and P1, P2. Now let us read the problem carefully. A sample survey conducted on 900 persons showed that the proportion of persons using a certain paint gel was 3 by 4. So already in the first sentence you have the word sample. So under solution write given. So in the first sample you have 900 persons and the proportion of persons who used a certain paint gel was 3 by 4. So the first sample proportion is given. So it means that P1 is equal to 3 by 4. So remember that the sample proportions are usually in percentage, decimals or fractions. And also N1 is equal to 900. Then after a year, a sample of 1000 persons showed that the proportion of persons using the same gel is 4 by 5. So in the second sample which was taken after a year, that means N2 is equal to 1000. The proportion in that sample was 4 by 5. So it means that P2 is equal to 4 by 5. Then let us write down the general format of H0, that is the two population proportions are equal. So in terms of notations, it will be capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Now because they are asking us to test that if there is any significant difference between the two proportions, the alternative will be a two-tailed one. So versus H1, capital P1 is not equal to capital P2. Then under H0, the test statistic is Z equal to P1 minus P2 by root of PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2, which follows normal 0, 1. Where now we'll use the formula for capital P as N1 P1 plus N2 P2 divided by N1 plus N2 because in the problem they have given us both the sample proportions and Q will be equal to 1 minus P. Before calculating Z, we need to calculate the population proportion capital P. So substituting the values we get 900 into 0.75 plus 1000 into 0.8 divided by 900 plus 1000, which is equal to 675 plus 800 by 1900. Now for capital P and capital Q, it is sufficient to take two places after the decimal after rounding off. So we get P is equal to 0.78. So therefore Q is equal to 1 minus P, which is equal to 0.22. Now let us substitute all the values and calculate the test statistic Z. So Z is equal to 0.75 minus 0.8 divided by root of 0.78 into 0.22 into 1 by 900 plus 1 by 1000, which is equal to minus 0.05 divided by root of 0.1716 into 0.0011 plus 0.001, which is equal to minus 0.05 divided by root of 0.0004, which is equal to minus 0.05 divided by 0.02. Therefore, we get Z is equal to minus 2.5. Now remember that this test or this problem is based on an alternative which is two-tailed. So what is the condition which we have to use for a two-tailed test to make our conclusion? The condition is highlighted in red color on the right hand side of this slide. So you have to check if mod Z is greater than or equal to K alpha by 2. If it is greater than or equal to K alpha by 2, you reject H naught, otherwise you accept H naught. So we had found out Z, now find out mod Z, which is equal to modulus of minus 2.5. Modulus of any negative number becomes positive, so therefore mod Z is equal to 2.5. Now let's write the last step, which is the conclusion. Compare mod Z with K alpha by 2. So at 1% level of significance, K alpha by 2 value is 2.58. So the conclusion is, since mod Z is equal to 2.5 and this is not greater than K alpha by 2, which is equal to 2.58, at 1% level of significance, we accept H naught and conclude that capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Problem 4. A factory works in two shifts. In the day shift, out of 500 items produced, 30 are found to be defective, and in the night shift, out of 400 items produced, 20 are defective. It is known that the proportion of defective items that are manufactured is 0.052. Can it be concluded that there is no significant difference between the two shifts so far as efficiency is concerned? Starting with the solution in this problem, the word proportion is already mentioned, and there are two shifts, the day shift and the night shift. So the problem is based on test for equality of proportions. Now we need to find out what are the values of n1, n2, x1 and x2, or n1, n2 and small p1 and small p2. So if we go through the problem, we see that in the day shift 500 items are produced and 30 are found to be defective, and in a night shift out of 400 items produced 20 are defective. So under solution you can write n1 is equal to 500, x1 is 30, n2 is 400 and x2 is 20. Now in the problem, the next sentence is, it is known that the proportion of defective items that are manufactured is 0.052. Now here they have not mentioned whether it is in the day shift or the night shift, and the word sample is not present. So it means that the proportion of defectives are given for the entire population in the factory. That means capital P is equal to 0.052, and so Q is equal to 1 minus P, which is 1 minus 0.052, which is equal to 0.948. And since the value of alpha is not given, alpha is taken to be as 5%. Next, write H naught. The two population proportions are equal, that is capital P1 is equal to capital P2, versus the alternative will be two-tailed because they have asked us to check whether we can conclude that there's no significant difference between the two shifts. That means H1 is P1 is not equal to P2. Then write the test statistics. So under H0, the test statistic is Z equal to P1 minus P2 by root of PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2 which follows normal 0, 1. Then let us calculate P1 and P2. So P1 is x1 by n1, which is 30 by 500, which is equal to 0.06, and P2 is x2 by n2, which is 20 by 400, that is equal to 0.05. Substituting all the values in Z, we get Z equal to 0.06 minus 0.05 divided by root of 0.052 into 0.948 into 1 by 500 plus 1 by 400, which is equal to 0.01 divided by root of 0.0493 into 0.002 plus 0.0025, which simplifies to 0.01 by root of 0.0002, which is equal to 0.01 by 0.0141. So we get capital Z, that is the test statistic value, as 0.7092. But remember that for the conclusion, we have to make use of the condition for a two-tailed test. That is, we have to check if mod Z is greater than or equal to K alpha by 2. So we know that at 5% level of significance, K alpha by 2 is 1.96. Now find out mod Z, which is modulus of 0.7092. So you know that the modulus or the absolute value of a positive number remains as positive. So we get mod Z is equal to 0.7092. Let us now compare mod Z with K alpha by 2 and write the conclusion. So conclusion is, since mod Z is 0.7092, which is not greater than K alpha by 2 equal to 1.96, at 5% level of significance, we accept H0 and conclude that capital P1 is equal to capital P2. 5. In a certain district X, 400 persons were considered regular consumers of tea out of 800 persons. In another district Y, 450 were regular consumers of tea out of 1000 persons. Do these facts reveal that the proportion of tea drinkers in district X is more than in district Y? 1% level of significance. Now the word proportion is already used in the problem, and there are two districts, district X and district Y. So it is test for equality of proportions. So under the solution, let us list down the values which are given. That is, x1 is 400, n1 is 800, x2 is 450, and n2 is 1000, and alpha is 1%. So H0 will be the two population proportions are equal, that is capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Now the question asked is, does the proportion of tea drinkers in district X is more than in district Y? So it will be a right-tailed test. So versus H1, P1 is greater than P2. Under H0, the test statistic is Z equal to P1 minus P2 by root of PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2, which follows normal 0, 1, where capital P is x1 plus x2 by n1 plus n2, and we know that Q is equal to 1 minus P. Let us consider the formula for small p1, which is x1 by n1, that is 400 by 800, which is equal to 0.5, and P2 will be x2 by n2, which is 450 by 1000, which is equal to 0.45. Calculating capital P using the formula x1 plus x2 by n1 plus n2, we get 400 plus 450 divided by 800 plus 1000 is equal to 850 by 1800. Therefore, taking only two places after the decimal after rounding out, we get P equal to 0.47 and Q is equal to 1 minus P, which is 1 minus 0.47, which is 0.53. So we get Z equal to 0.5 minus 0.45 divided by root of 0.47 into 0.53 into 1 by 800 plus 1 by 1000, which is equal to 0.05 divided by root of 0.2491 into 0.0013 plus 0.001, which simplifies to 0.05 divided by 0.0006 or 0.05 divided by 0.0245. So we get Z equal to 2.0408. Now Let's recollect that this test is a right tail test, and the condition which we use for a right tail test is we have to check if z is greater than or equal to k alpha, and if it is greater we will reject h naught, otherwise we will accept h naught. So we know that at 1% level of significance k alpha is 2.33. So conclusion, since z is 2.0408 is not greater than k alpha equal to 2.33 at 1% level of significance, we accept H naught and conclude that capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Problem 6. A machine produced 20 defective articles in a batch of 400. After overhauling, it produced 10 defectives in a batch of 300. Test at 5% level of significance whether the proportion of defective articles manufactured by the machine has reduced after overhauling. Let me first explain what we understand by the word overhauling. So, overhauling of a machine is actually a process of general maintenance which is performed on a machine so that it performs well. Starting with the problem, under the solution, let us write down the values given. The word proportion is already present. And if we go to the problem, they have given the values before overhauling and after overhauling. So, before overhauling, let us denote the proportion of defectives in the population as capital P1, and after overhauling, the proportion of defectives in the population is denoted by capital P2. I have highlighted this information on the right hand side of the slide in the red colored box. So I repeat again, before overhauling or before overhaul, the proportion of defectives is denoted by capital P1, and after overhauling, the proportion of defectives in the population is denoted by capital P2. Okay, so listing down the values under given, we have x1 is equal to 20 and n1 is 400, x2 is equal to 10 and n2 is equal to 300, and alpha is 5%. Then write h naught, the two population proportions are equal, that is capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Now let's go back to the box which is highlighted in red color to check what is the alternative hypothesis. Now, in the question, they have asked us to test whether the proportion of defective articles manufactured by the machine has reduced after overhauling. So, we have to check whether capital P2 is less than capital P1. But whenever we write the alternative hypothesis or even the null hypothesis, we should have P1 first and then we should have P2. So here P2 is less than P1, in other words means P1 is greater than P2. So our alternative hypothesis will be H1 P1 is greater than P2. So under H0 the test statistic is Z equal to P1 minus P2 by root PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2, which follows normal 0 1. Write the formula for capital P1, which is x1 plus x2 by N1 plus N2, and we know that Q is equal to 1 minus P. Then calculate P1, which is x1 by N1, that is 20 by 400, which is 0.05, and P2 is x2 by N2, which is 100 by 300, which is equal to 0.03. Calculating capital P, we get 20 plus 10 divided by 400 plus 300, which is 30 by 700, or capital P is 0.04. Therefore, Q is equal to 1 minus P, which is 1 minus 0.47, which is equal to 0.96, or Z is equal to 0.05 minus 0.03 divided by root of 0.04 into 0.96 into 1 by 400 plus 1 by 300. On simplification, we get 0.02 divided by root of 0.0384 into 0.0025 plus 0.0033. So, substituting further, we get the final value of Z as 1.4184. Now, the condition which we should use for a right tail test is we have to check if Z is greater than or equal to K alpha. If it is, you reject H naught, otherwise you accept H naught. So at 1% level of significance, we know that K alpha is 1.65. So write the conclusion. Since Z is equal to 1.4184, is not greater than K alpha, which is equal to 1.65. At 5% level of significance, we accept H naught and conclude that capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Problem 7. A machine produced 3 defective articles in a batch of 100. In another batch, it produced 20 defectives out of 500. Has the proportion of defective articles increased in the second batch? So the word proportion is present in the problem, and also we have two batches. So the problem is based on test for equality of proportions. So write the solution. Given x1 is 3, n1 is 100, then x2 is 20 and n2 is 500, and alpha is taken as 5%. Now write H naught. The two population proportions are equal, that is capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Now at this side in the red box, I have mentioned that the first batch has the proportion of defectives in the population as capital P1, and the proportion of defectives in the second batch in the population is capital P2. And a question asked us you have to check if the proportion of defective articles has increased in the second batch. So they're asking us to check if P2 is greater than P1. But whenever we write, we should write P1 first and then P2. So P2 greater than P1 is nothing but P1 is less than P2. So your alternative will be versus H1, P1 is less than P2. Then write the test statistic. Z is equal to P1 minus P2 by root PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2, which follows normal 0, 1. So where P is x1 plus x2 divided by N1 plus N2 and Q is 1 minus P. Now let us calculate the sample proportions. So small p1 is x1 by n1, that is 3 by 100, that is 0.03, and P2 is x2 by n2, which is 20 by 500, that is 0.04. Let us now calculate capital P, which is 3 plus 20 divided by 100 plus 500, which is 23 by 600. So we get capital P as 0.04 and Q is 1 minus P, which is equal to 1 minus 0.04, that is equal to 0.96. Substituting in Z, we get Z is equal to 0.03 minus 0.04 divided by root of 0.04 into 0.96 into 1 by 100 plus 1 by 500. On further simplification, without calling out the remaining values, we get the final value of Z as minus 0.4464. Now the condition which we have to use for a left tail test is you have to check if Z is less than or equal to minus K alpha. So at 5% level of significance, we know that minus K alpha is equal to minus 1.65. So if this condition is satisfied, then we reject H naught, otherwise we accept H naught. So let's write the conclusion. So compare Z with minus K alpha. So Z is equal to minus 0.4464, which is not less than minus K alpha, which is equal to minus 1.65 at 5% level of significance. So we accept H naught and conclude that both the population proportions are equal, that is capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Problem 8. A random sample of 100 people from a city in the year 2011 revealed that 65 are cricket match viewers. Another sample of 100 people from the same city in the year 2013 revealed that 75 are cricket match viewers. Test whether there is a significant increase in the proportion of cricket match viewers. 1% level of significance. So the word proportion is present and we have 2 years, that is 2011 and 2013. So it is test for equality of proportions. Let us write down the solution. So given x1 is 65, n1 is 100, x2 is 75 and n2 is again 100 and alpha is 1%. H naught is the two population proportions are equal, that is capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Now in the red box which I have highlighted, the year 2011 has the proportion of cricket match viewers in the population as capital P1, and for the year 2013 the proportion of cricket match viewers is denoted by capital P2. Now the question asked is here to check whether there is an increase in the proportion of cricket match viewers. So it means that they are asking us to check whether the proportion of viewers in 2013 is greater than the proportion of viewers in the year 2011. So we have to check if P2 is greater than P1, or in other words, it means that we have to check whether P1 is less than P2. So our alternative will be a left-tailed alternative. So versus H1, P1 is less than P2. Under H naught, the test statistic is Z equal to P1 minus P2 by root PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2, which follows normal 0, 1, where P is equal to X1 plus X2 divided by N1 plus N2 and Q is equal to 1 minus P. So write the formula for P1, which is X1 by N1, that is 65 by 100, which is equal to 0.65, and you consider P2, which is X2 by N2, that is 75 by 100, which is equal to 0.75. Writing the formula for capital P as x1 plus x2 by n1 plus n2 and substituting the values, we get 65 plus 75 divided by 100 plus 100 is equal to 140 by 200, or capital P is 0.7. We know that Q is 1 minus P, which is 1 minus 0.7, which is equal to 0.3. Substituting in Z, we get Z equal to 0.65 minus 0.75 divided by root of 0.7 into 0.3 into 1 by 100 plus 1 by 100, which is equal to minus 0.1 divided by root of 0.21 into 0.01 plus 0.01. So on simplification, we get Z equal to minus 1.5432. The condition which we use for a left-tailed test is Z should be less than or equal to minus K alpha. Then we reject H naught, otherwise we accept H naught. So at 1% level of significance, minus K alpha is minus 2.33. So the conclusion is, since Z is equal to minus 1.5432 is not less than minus K alpha, which is equal to minus 2.33, at 5% level of significance, we accept H naught and conclude that capital P1 is equal to capital P2. Equality of proportions involves a lot of calculations and the problems are lengthy. Please be careful while calculating the values. Thank you all for watching, and look out for my next video where I will commence with the chi-square test, in particular the chi-square test for the population variance procedure.